Been here this whole time. You think that just because I'm not doing this show every single loss for the past, like, God knows how long, that I forgot about this? Even though I'm like, you know, nobody tunes in. You think that stopped me? You think I'm not watching the Heat? You think I'm just gonna give up? What is wrong with you? How dare you? Just for that, I'm just gonna let it play out. Because that is what you deserve. For your mistrust, disbelief, nothing to do with the fact that I think we got what, like 2 wins in a row? No, 4 wins in a row. 4 wins in a row? I don't know, 2 wins. So whatever. We beat Jimmy. That's not the reason why we're doing this and letting it play out. It's because without this team, I gotta like kind of turn it off. It's already like 35 at night, and you know the neighbors are like wondering what the fuck am I doing. So yeah. He cultura, he cultural, he cultura, he cultura. He cultura, 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 he cultura. He cultura. However you say it, that's how you say it now and forever. I don't make the rules, I just make the rules. I am Studio Mogura. Studio Mogura. Mogura. Hit me up at the PayPal and hit me up at the Cashapp. All donations go toward the making of my independent animated pilot and my independent film. Include your names in the memo, and I will include your names in the end credits of either one of those projects that I use that money for. Right now, it's for the animated project because I'm deep in the animated project. I'm like working on it every day. I go to work, I come home from work, open it up, start working on it, you know, chip it away, and we're doing really good on that. So we're just, you know, trying to slam through it, So anything that you toss my way, I will use for that, and I appreciate it. Okay? If you want something tangible, buy my book, Full Moon Nights, available on Amazon. Chronicle of the Miami Rave Scene. If not, you want something a little bit harder, check out my other book, Hell in Heels. The story of a man saving a family attacked by a female biker gang called Hell in Heels. It's a critique of the millennial craziness that we're dealing with right now. So please check that out. Also check out Octo Taco, which is my little blog, and as well as my comic shop, and all my comic related posts and stuff, and anything comic related writings, including the Comic Market Watch, which I'm probably not gonna get to till after I'm done with the animation. I thought I could just okay, jump into that every now and then and just keep writing. But right now, all my writing has come to a complete halt as I work on the animation. So, sorry. Also, check out my TeePublic. You can get my original T-shirt designs. I've got a bunch of stuff I gotta put up, but again, I'll get into it. And if if you want something else, also check out my YouTube playlist with all my tracks. You can also find my tracks available on all streaming services. Basically, my entire discography dating back from 1999 up until my latest release in 2023. I'm hoping to get back into music. I've been like kind of dabbling on a few beats and melodies and stuff in my head, and I wrote a couple lyrics not too long ago. Nothing major, but I'm trying to see about getting into that again. But I definitely want to do something this year, maybe a couple tracks. But it's all really, hindering on me finishing the animation, which is like the most important thing I've ever done in my life right now. It's crazy. So yeah, so please support any way you can. You can also buy my music on Bandcamp in the address below, the El Topo Miami at .bandcamp.com. Hit that up, okay? So we got that out of the way, and we are back, just like that. I even made coffee at 10:38 in Miami. I'm like dealing with this dilemma because I want to go to there's this drum and bass party that was taking place, and it's like, if I go, it's now or never. Because that motherfucker's in Fort Lauderdale, and it's like Diesel Boys playing, and a lot of people from the crew is gonna be there and all stuff like that. And I thought about going, but it's just like, it's not like I'm gonna be playing. It's not like they're gonna hand me the mic or anything like that. And it's just I'm just gonna be in the crowd listening to the music, and that, even though that's fun, and I thought about taking the camera to go film and shit, but then I'm by myself, so to be taking all that shit with me by myself is a little sketchy in that area in Fort Lauderdale, because I don't know that area as well as I would know like the sketchiest part of Miami. I'd feel comfortable going into like deep Wynwood and stuff, but going into Fort Lauderdale, I don't know where the escape routes are at. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I would like to go, man, but the party was originally going to be here in Miami, but then they moved it to Fort Lauderdale last minute, and I'm like, that's really far. I'd rather stay in and, not deal with having to drive that far. And work on the animation. So that's what we're doing. And it kind of sucks because I'm just like, damn, I think I want to go to a drum and bass party this weekend for a Winter Music Conference. But again, it's like, for you to go to a drum and bass party now, it's going to cost you like $50-$60 at the door. It's crazy. Plus another like 30-40 for parking, and you're gonna have to definitely pay $20 for one bottle of water. That's like the mini bottle. So yeah, man, I don't know, man. I'd rather I'm trying to see if there's like a fucking free party somewhere. I know there's a couple places that I'm gonna try. Maybe on Friday I think there's a party where all the locals are playing, and I'd rather go to that. So yeah, so we'll see. Getting into the heat, I had made the promise that I wouldn't do another Heat Cultura until they won a game of significance. That I felt like, okay, this was a big win. And right now, every win that they have is going to be a big win because we literally just came off a 10-game fucking losing streak. So anything that we win after that is going to be like, oh my God, thank God. But it seems like they have finally righted the ship. It took literally this entire time to right the ship that was missing Jovic. Jovic has turned out to be one of the most key players this team has. The moment he went down, this whole shit went off the rails. It wasn't Jimmy. Jimmy contributed, definitely. Jimmy got in these people's heads. But Jovic going down, I think we would have not been on a 10-game losing streak. We would have maybe definitely been 5-5 during that stretch. Probably better. And we would not be under 500. So finally getting to this point where you you feel that the game is going to turn in your favor. You know, because like we had that stretch in the third and even in the fourth where, you know, they came out, and one thing that's different is that they're coming out strong out of the third quarter. They come out and they you know, the last two games they did it against Golden State, where they came out in the third quarter and Alec Burks was you know, he took Duncan Robinson's job. I don't give a fuck. You know how we feel on this show about Duncan Robinson. Okay, if aliens landed on this planet and threatened us with its destruction, threatened us with them destroying us, unless we chose Duncan Robinson to hit a wide open 3-point shot. You know how we feel on this show. That we believe on this show, on this particular podcast, that you might as well just put a bullet in your head and just take the button away from the aliens and press it yourself, because that ball is not going in. On a wide open Duncan Robinson 3? No, I don't think so. I take my chances with blowing up the planet. That's how we feel. You know, Duncan Robinson has been great, you know, this season, in the fact that like he's had more 18-plus games, I think, that he's ever had any fucking season. You know, just because he's had to, because Jimmy went down, or Jimmy went out, or whatever the fuck. Jimmy, you know, went to hell. So like, Duncan Robinson had moments in this season where he was like, okay, he was doing good, but then there's no way that you can tell me he's doing good enough when we went on a 10-game losing streak. And that's the issue, man. Like, that guy should be automatic 15 points. And for a moment you thought he was. You thought he turned the corner, and then it's just like, okay, well, what the fuck? And then now he's hurt. And you put Burks in there, and Burks lights it up like this. Last two games, like, it's really, these are meaningful games, man. This is not like Atlanta's in it. You know, they're one of the teams that we either face or we're gonna try and get around or something. But they're you know, clawing and scratching like we are. I have confidence against Atlanta because I don't fear Trae Young anymore ever again. Like, ever. Never, ever since, you know, Ice Cold, the time where he did the Ice Cold, like, I have never had to fear that man. And you know it. You feel the same way. He was out there. He was like one of the first times I feel in a while where we've seen Trae Young come out and he was like making a lot of great shots. I haven't seen that from him in a while against the Heat. ¿Qué pasó? Oh, that's right. He still lost. Because he reverts to Trae Young, which is like he starts doing turnovers and this and takes the crazy shots, and I don't fear. But I did fear the Heat in this thing that, like, they have these moments where they just go absolutely dry. And it's just wild. It's wild to see how they go just absolutely bone dry. And they can't even hit, like, the most cutest little bunny hopping away. So having Burks come out there after the third and just nail shit is like, that's proper. Duncan Robinson better worry. And when he comes back, man, you know, if he misses his first fucking shot that he takes, you sit him immediately. I've said this before. Just sit him. You know Duncan Robinson's going to have a good night if he makes that first shot. If he doesn't, just sit him. Forget about him. Tell him to go home. Fuck him. But Alec Burks took his job tonight for sure. I would have given it to the last game, but tonight, yeah, for sure. Burks has been dynamite since he got here. He has been trustworthy. Very similar to Highsmith. How Highsmith is kind of trustworthy. You saw how Highsmith was taking, he hasn't been hitting that three as of late, but he corrected himself this game. Highsmith turned the corner in this game. He was like, we're winning this game because I'm gonna turn the corner, and boom, started making shots. Same for Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson, at the beginning of the season, all season he's been like crap. He's been like, I'm like, why are you putting this guy in there? This guy's just been terrible all season long. I wanted to post at the beginning when they put him in. I wanted to post on against the Warriors. I wanted to be like, oh my God, this guy sucks. I can't stand it. Why are they putting him in the game? And I was just like, no, just don't ruin the vibe, whatever. And he went off. He just had like 3 big ass plays, man. But they were like key plays where there were moments where like, because when you started playing, I was like saying to myself and saying to him, I was like, dude, you got to do something, man. You can't just be out there, i.e. running around. You got to attack too. You have to contribute. Like this is like this kind of team. That this team is. It went from having Jimmy and like a real clear cut star to kind of having the 3 guys to now having the 2 guys to going back to reverting to what we were before we even got Jimmy, which was like a team effort. And it just took 10 games to get there. And I know I've been kicking and screaming and hating on this team louder than anybody. Saying they got to blow this up. Fuck these guys. And you can't blame anybody for saying that. They were fucking on a 10-game lose. That's the longest losing streak this franchise has ever had. What else am I going to say? The hope is that they just they go on the right end of the season now. They finally got the Jimmy like cloud that's been hanging over the head for this whole time. They got rid of that shit. Even I think they play Golden State over there, and it don't fucking matter. We'll go upstairs even if we lose over there. But I don't think we're gonna lose when we go over there. I think we're gonna go in there and we're gonna whip their ass. I think, because I think we still play them. I gotta put on my glasses. I'm sorry. I think we still play them. We still gotta meet them. Holy shit, we still gotta play the Celtics? Jesus Christ, mother of God. I thought we already got their asses kissing up by them. No, we don't play them anymore. No. Oh, I thought. Oh, yeah, because we did. We played them already, like in the beginning of the season, right before Jimmy left. Yeah, and we beat them then too. We beat them. We beat them in. We already beat them. We already beat them in Golden State. So we swept their asses this season. Wow, that was weird. Did I see that right? Hold on, wait a minute. Oh, 114.98. We beat them. And now we beat them 112.86. Okay, yeah, they suck. They can, sorry, goodbye. Later, dick. Look, man, we got big games, right? So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so remember how we always talked about before how we approach everything like a 7-game series. I'm not going to go into like, where we're at now, all this kind of shit, because it's too much math to do right now, and I'm in the middle of tax season. Go fuck yourself. Okay? But I do know that there's 7 games at the end of the season, and these are really big games because we gotta win a lot of these games to, kind of climb out of this 10 spot. Okay? And if it's now or never. And the last 7 games of the season are basically Celtics, Grizzlies, Bucks, 76ers, Bulls, Pelicans, and Wizards. Those are a lot of winnable games. And more importantly, they're 2. The 3 games that matter are the Bulls, but with the Bulls, but they already own the tiebreaker, so that's not really what we're caring about. I think it's just a matter of like we're gonna be playing 3 teams that are gonna be in it, and I think the Grizzlies too are in it, right? I think the Grizzlies are 5th in the Western Conference. They're fucking 44-28, dude. That is not a bad team. That is a good team, dude. Bucks are 40-32. So we're gonna be playing teams that are just they're getting ready for the playoffs. Okay, Bucks are 6. They're getting ready for the playoffs. You know, 76ers. Yeah, they're out of it. They can go to hell. Everybody's out of it. It's just us. We're at the very bottom. You know, we still got to keep winning because, Jesus Christ, man, 10 games and we went on a 10-game losing streak. We, you never know. And Raptors are, they're 26 wins, but still, you want to keep playing. You want to keep winning. You want to keep riding this in, and those will be 2 massive wins for us if we can steal one from any of these teams. You got to expect to beat the Bulls now. You got to start expecting that you're going to be winning the games that you were supposed to be winning before. But one of these games you've got to win. Celtics or the Bucks. It's not going to be the Celtics, unless they rest guys or some shit, because Jesus fucking Christ, I don't know what the hell's up with that team, but you know how we play this team. It's like we play them. We play them tough for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's they start hitting threes like crazy, and we can't keep up. Even though we have fucking Duncan Robinson on this team. So I say take advantage that Duncan Robinson is out and just keep him out. And ride Burks, ride this team right now that's really gelling really, really well together. And let's see what happens now. But that Bucks game is a must. The Grizzlies and the Bucks games are 2 games that are a must. That if we get those 2 games, that should at least give us the confidence that, okay, we can found the switch. Because that's what's kind of been going on this past fucking month, is that we lost the switch, and we've been in the dark this whole time. Jimmy left, turned out the fucking lights, and then never told anybody where the switch was. And we've been just looking for that shit. And finally, fucking Bam found it. And bless Bam, man, for being who he is, because he's a great guy, man, and you don't see him talking shit. You don't see him being a dick. You don't see him getting caught up in it. You don't see him being like Jalen Green. You don't see him being a problem. And again, man, I know at the very beginning I was so unsure about Bam. I just was like, I don't know if this is the guy, because you saw so many things from my side. You were like, but they ultimately made the totally the right decision with Bam, because look at where he's at right now. And I still feel that guy has a lot to grow. That guy, I mean, when he starts nailing that 3, it ain't problem. It's just part of his. It's already part of him, but it's still not something that he's known for. But I mean, he could shoot that no problem, dude. And that's how you make yourself last longer. Is you get that shot in, And he's a guy he has a great jumper. He has a great mid range, and when he's on, man. It's really hard to stop him. So, him and Ware together is they just got to keep playing more, man. You got to remember that Ware's new to this team. Not even new to this team because we drafted him to play the beginning first game. No, we new to this team. Not only just new to this team, but also new to this team because he didn't start until halfway through the season. When the Jimmy shit started going down and we needed to fill players in and we need to find somebody for that spot. I mean, he got the call. And he took advantage, man. He took advantage, and thank God Spo saw that he didn't have a choice with this guy. This was not a guy that he could be like, no, I don't want to play him. I want to keep running. No. He had to play this guy. There's no choice. And let me tell you something. Jimmy did not expect this guy because he probably didn't even notice him while he was on this team. I guarantee you Jimmy was like, I don't even know that guy. I've never even seen that guy. I don't know where that guy came from. When did they get that guy? Because I was on the team when they got that guy, and they never played him when he was there. And that's true. They never played Ware when Jimmy was here because we didn't think we needed Ware. We thought that we were a Jimmy team. And let me tell you something. If we would have been paying Ware, Bam, Hero, Jimmy, and Robinson, or whoever, Burks, or whoever, It would have been Jovic. I mean, that's the team. I mean, think about Jimmy staying here and just putting his mind into it and just... You're going to tell me that, oh, that's not enough for Jimmy? We still need to get Kevin Durant? Is it really that we need Kevin Durant? Or is it that you just want this to be super fucking easy? You don't want these guys to work. You don't want these guys to try. You want to just come in and make every shot and, oh, that's it. And beat, the Celtics by like 80 points. Is that what you want? Man, we had LeBron, we had Wade, and we had Bosh, and it was still the hardest thing we've ever seen human beings do. Like there was not one easy moment. Even when they went through when they won the first title, and it was like they beat everybody like 4-1, 4-2 in the playoffs, and they just ripped through everybody. It didn't seem like that. It didn't feel like that as a Heat fan. It felt like, holy shit, at any given moment, the whole thing could come crashing down. And it was only till after everything, the smoke cleared and, the parade passed, that you stopped for a second and you were like, holy shit, we went through that shit like 4-1, 4-2, 4-3. Like, damn. We ripped through everybody that first run. Not the first year that they were together, the second year. What's wrong with you? Shut up. Whoever you are. Shut up. We're smoking Deep Space as always. I picked up a quarter of the shit, so we're hitting it. I want to take this hit and dedicate it to Pelle Larsson. Because Pelle Larsson, last game against Golden State, came in and Golden State was still playing a little bit hard at the end. And it was still a little bit like, But Pelle Larsson came in and made all his shots. And then Pelle Larsson came in this game, and he made all his shots, and he did just enough to disrupt Atlanta, which I believe led us back, because we were down like 20 in this game. Pelle Larsson came in and he started mucking everything up, and he made a couple shots, and it was just, the vibe changed. That was Pelle Larsson. This hit goes to Kyle Anderson, because last two games he has been the MVP. And he hasn't done much. He hasn't put up 30 fucking points a game. But his shots that he has made have been so timely. And it's a complete reversal of the player that he was when we first got him. When we first got him, we went on a 10-game losing streak. And a lot of it was because that guy was terrible. I hated his ass 2 games ago. Before the Golden State game, I hated him. When they went into the Golden State game, I was like, we're going to lose this game now. And then he's made a shot. He made a good play. He made another shot. He made another good play. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, maybe he got his vibe back. And then when I think he made like a 3 or he made something. There was a play that he made that you were like, this man has found it. Found his groove. When they put him in today, like, I felt really good about just letting him play. And you saw how they were just talking about him. And then he had that pass. Davion Mitchell, this hit is for you. You have done enough, and then you have had 2 threes at the end of the games that were both daggers. In Golden State, he hit the last dagger 3. That pretty much put the game away. And in this game, did the same thing. Had a big 3 at the end that shut the door. That's what we're looking for. A lot of people, including mine, and even myself, Kyle Lowry used to piss us off a lot. But you could count on Kyle Lowry in the playoffs. That's for sure, man. Kyle Lowry in the playoffs was different. He was a beast in the playoffs. I'm gonna give it to him. He would try. He wasn't totally successful, but when he was there, he was good. He would turn it on in the playoffs. And a lot of what Damian Mitchell has done, he looks a lot like Kyle Lowry to me. Like his shape, the way that he plays, all that. So it feels like a natural progression. Yeah, sure. Bring him along. He's good to go. And he fit in. He still is a little chaotic and still just like kind of how Kyle Lowry was. So that's why I kind of say you can see the similarities. But there is, there's potential for him to still get better, and he is getting better. At least that's what it seems these last couple of games. He's getting better. Once we got out of this losing streak, he's just been getting better. This hit is dedicated to Ware, because Ware should be Rookie of the Year. Ware should be Rookie of the Year. Kyle Ware should be Rookie of the Year. Invincible should be Rookie of the Year. That's his name. Invincible should be Rookie of the Year. Done. I got to give it up to Spo. I think he did a challenge at some point in the last 2 games. He's been smart enough to stick with the right guys. Change it up and call the timeouts when you need to call the goddamn timeouts. He's been paying attention, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And finally, this hit also goes to Alec Burke, because Alec Burke has been all season long on. Okay? And there's one more guy. And I'm also going to give this hit to Highsmith, to the locksmith. Because Highsmith just continues to be, he is the reincarnation of Udonis Haslem. It's unbelievable how we found this guy. He is a Heat lifer. He will be, his Haywood Highsmith will be, his jersey will be in the rafters before Jimmy Butler. Okay? Haywood Highsmith. His jersey will be in the rafters before Jimmy Butler. Haywood Highsmith. Congratulations. Oh, I just realized that's the pit. It's pit night tonight. Lots of blood. Craziness. I mean, that show is just wild, dude. So it was really tough. The last episode was really tough because the whole shit. But tonight's supposed to be probably worse. So here we go. But we'll get to that. I still want to rock this a little bit longer because I know I took a really long time just not fucking on here and all this kind of shit, whatever. But I'm giving you 40. I gave you 40-minute wait. Now I'm giving you 40 minutes of this thing. We're gonna just do that because it's already 11 p.m. and I don't want to go too late. And I'm working on the animation right now, and I kind of stopped midway of the game because I just wanted to pay attention to the game and focus on that. And then now I got to go back to that shit. I don't want to be up till like 3 in the fucking morning because I've already been up to like 5 in the morning like 3 times this week. So, there's not much else to say, even though. This team you just got to keep at it, bro. Saturday's a really great opportunity to get another easy win against the 76ers. Get that win, man. Don't let that shit slip. Don't bring this bullshit of like we can't, oh my God, we let this team back in. 76ers and the Wizards are 2 great fucking wins that we can pocket before going into the Celtics. And Celtics has to be a game where that is where we will prove that we turn it around. If we can somehow win that game. Because they're going to play their fucking guys. But the Celtics will be more than willing to lay over and roll over if it's a loss. They're fucking 5 games behind the Cavaliers. Like, are the Cavaliers going to fucking lose a game? Cavs have Pistons, Clippers, Knicks, Spurs, Kings, Bulls, Pacers, Knicks, and Pacers. Those 2 Pacers games are going to be monster games, but what does it fucking matter? You know, the Pacers are 4 and they're 43 and 30, and at this point, it's just about they're 16 games behind. At this point, the only team that can really challenge the Cavs are the Celtics. And the Celtics are not going to overexert themselves 5 fucking games just to, like, try and take the number 1 when... What does it matter, man? You know, you go over there and you beat their fucking asses. Like, to me, home court... You know how it is here with home court? We'll go anywhere. We'll beat your ass anywhere. You know, we don't fear going on the road. We haven't feared that shit since Boston Game 6, man. Get the hell out of here. That shit's done. Like, you never fear that again. You should never fear that again as a Miami Heat fan ever again in your life, dude. Down 3-2, going into wherever, going into freaking, you know, the Phantom Zone and shit. Who cares? Let's go. We don't give a... No way. We don't give a fuck. Let's go. So that shouldn't matter to you as a Heat fan. So it really shouldn't matter to anybody else in the league. Definitely not the Celtics and definitely not the Cavs. They've lost only 14 and 19 games, man. I mean, those guys don't fear the road. This is a moment that can benefit us, man. Like, we have just got to win out so that we jump over the Bulls, and the Bulls will lose some games, man. You know, the Bulls are playing the Lakers. They fucking won against the goddamn fucking Lakers. How do you win against the fucking Lakers? Can you believe that? After the last 9 and all that shit, and, you know, that by 3, you lose by 3. Get the fuck out of here, Lakers. They were fucking this guy. I was just before the game. We were talking about. Not talking. I was listening to Le Batard show because he's doing something late night. That's why I kind of want to get off because I want to watch the rest of that, and I'm sure they're done already. But they're saying, you know, Lakers are one of the top teams to win the title. Just lost to the Bulls. Get out of here. But then the Bulls play the Mavericks, and that could be a win for them because the Mavericks don't have anybody. And for a second, I thought, oh no, they're gonna lose. No, wait, that's right. They get rid of everybody. I don't even know if Anthony Davis is back. Who knows? But then they play the Thunder. I know they'll lose that game. They play the Raptors. They could lose that game. Trailblazers, and then the Hornets. The Cavs, they'll lose that game. And then they play us. They'll lose. They could lose that game too. And then Wizards and 76ers. They end the season with cake. You know, it's a cakewalk for them. So we just gotta hope that they lose the games that they're supposed to lose. But shit, if they're beating the fucking Lakers, that, you know, they're gonna come out and they're gonna play hard against the Mavericks. You know, and the Raptors, all these other teams that you think they're gonna beat, they're probably gonna beat. So we'll be stuck at the 10 if we don't win out. We gotta win out. So much, man. I don't know. If we would have not slacked off and let this guy fucking poison our fucking team, dude. I mean, I think this season would have been a lot better. Should have known. Should have seen it coming with Butler. You know? It was just, even I didn't want to believe that, he'd do the same thing to us. Because, you know, we had runs together, man. And you know, those things are meaningful, man. That's history that stays with you, man. And like, for him to come be like, you know, we really didn't do anything. We just had some fun. It's like, having fun it means something. You know, and then you want to come here and we do the tribute and you want to just pretend to wave, fucking with the prom wave, you know? The Miss Universe wave that's like you hold your fingers and you kind of like cup your hand and you like, you know, you twist your forearm side and you go twist it. And it's like, hello. Fake smile and shit. And it's like, and then he doesn't dab up anybody. He doesn't even dab up Bam, nobody. And he doesn't even say what's up to anybody after the game. But he comes here 5 days early and spends his time in Miami, loves the sun, all this kind of shit, playing dominoes at his big face place. Man, if I was city of Miami, I'd shut down Big Face Coffee. Fuck that. You know, I don't want you operating in here. Take your shit to fucking Golden State. Go. Take that shit to San Francisco. Not here. The kitty is scratching, trying to get inside because I took advantage that, they walked outside really quick and unknowingly I closed the door behind them so that I could just do the show uninterrupted by the kitty's meows. So we'll use that as a cue to kind of get out of here. Look, man, I just said it now. Win out. Win out. Do what you got to do. And, we just got to get in. And that's all that matters, man. Because we get in and it's another fun ride for us, And it's just going to be hard this time because, we're going to need 2 road wins, push comes to shove if things end the way that they end, But the good thing that we have is that we all know we're better than what we've been these last 2 months. We know we're better than this. We know these guys have talent. These guys are really great players, man. Hero's a 15. Bam's up there too. Ware's the same thing. These are decent guys, man. And we're just missing Jovic, man. And we just got to survive it and hopefully get into the playoffs so that maybe we can get Jovic back. If we make it into the playoffs after the 2 playing games, we can probably get Jovic back during that first run. And he changes everything in this game. It's going to be hard for him because it's going to take him a minute to kind of get back in the flow and shit for sure. But he changes his team. It's obvious, man. And let me tell you, man, we're going to have to pay that motherfucker. It's going to be hard because we're going to have to pay him. We have to pay Ware. You got to keep all these guys, man. We got a lot of young talent. So it's imperative that we do these runs now because these guys are still young. These guys are still really young. Tyrus is such a young guy. Bam is such a young guy. And you think Bam is like a fucking veteran, because he is. Bam is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. He's been around almost a decade already, dude, and he's still under 30. Still under 30, man. Bam is going to play as long as LeBron if he just stays healthy and, keeps doing what he's doing. His style is prime for it. Tyler's going to be, here for a while too, he signed a contract with us. He's not going anywhere. He fits Miami's mold perfectly. He is like the guy that you meet in middle school. It's true. This is a good team. We've got a lot of strong players, a lot of strong guys. A lot of guys that are just, they will rough it out. And I think really it's Spo has, I hate to say that Spo has to do the mad scientist shit and just find the lineup, but that's obviously what he did. He found the fucking lineup. Finally Wiggins is in the groove. Wiggins is in, the rhythm's going to get him. He's hanging out with Gloria Estefan in the Miami Sound Machine now. Because he's in it. And he is hitting shots that Butler should have been hitting. And you saw Butler. I'm letting her in because, I feel really bad. You saw Butler. And you were not surprised at all at how badly Butler played. You weren't. Everyone else was. You heard everybody. Oh, Butler's going to put up 40. He's going to come out there and put up 40. Yeah, right. What you saw was who Butler really was. You saw what Butler had become here in Miami. He became an entrepreneur. He's not even a basketball player barely anymore. He'd rather spend his summers looking for the perfect coffee bean in Colombia and some shit. Look into his farms or wherever the hell it is and better hope he's not using slave labor and stuff. You better hope he's paying his farmers enough. I'm serious, man. I used to work at Starbucks 2 years, bro. They do fucked up shit with that. I'm Venezuelan, so I know what it's like in South America. Come on. Butler is not who you think he is. He's a tough guy. He's great. But he's got only a few really good games left in him, in my opinion. This is his last run. That's why he went and dipped out with Curry. That's why it's only like a 1 or 2 year contract. I think, that's why it's all it is. Because he's got a little left in him, man. Butler is basically Wade at the end of his career with the fucking knees and all this kind of shit. Like, where's the killer? You saw the killer. You know why you saw the killer? You think you saw the killer. You didn't see the killer. You saw Steph Curry killing it. Curry goes down and, he's got to carry the load again. And when he's got to carry the load, did he win? No. But if he was here carrying the load with this team, with Bam, with Hero, now with Ware, he would have been playing with Ware. Dude, I know he felt something. He felt when he would see Ware dunk and just smash it and block him and shit. Like, he... Don't tell me he didn't feel anything, because then you're telling me, he's basically a sociopath, non-empathetic, like, machine that feels nothing. Get out of here. He's human. And he's a sensitive guy, man. He's a good guy. He feels shit. He feels that shit. That's why he is the way that he is. That's why he fit Miami so well, and we loved him here. We loved him here, man. We loved him here. He was perfect. He was Miami. He's not San Francisco. He's not out there Golden State, hippies and electric vehicles. No, that's not him. He likes his cafecito. He likes his Domino's. He likes his nice weather. He likes his... Let me tell you, San Francisco's like, they're on the coast, but that shit's cold. Come to Miami. Tell me no. LA's cold. I was like with a sweater. Right? I was supposed to stop already, but I started going again. Sorry. It's just that. I know, Mama. I know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want to just keep hammering at it because we already went through it. I didn't even want to get into it. That's why I really didn't do this show. So like maybe it's because of that I've got all this pent up anger inside and resentment, and it's just, I'm sorry that I do. I don't want to be resentful of Butler. I loved him, man. Maybe that's why I am, because I did love him and I thought he was great. He was perfect, man. He was a perfect personality for us. And it just feels like it doesn't make any sense. And you know what it probably is? It reminds me a lot of when I broke up with my ex, or like when she broke up with me, more like it. And she told me that I didn't make her happy. And I was like, how do I not make you happy? Like every time all we do is hang out, love each other's company. We're intimate with each other. Everything was nice. It's not like we're yelling at each other, fighting over stupid things. Basically chilling, watching, our favorite shows, her favorite shows, ordering in, hanging out. She was working from my apartment, using my downstairs as her office. We were basically like living together. And everything's fine. And all of a sudden it's like, no, I gotta hang out with this guy friend. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you don't make me happy. So, you know how that goes. And I was like, how could you say, I would rather you tell me the truth that, you found someone else or all this stuff and everything, whatever, than rather you like come up with this crazy shit of like, I don't make you happy when everything was fine. And it's like annoying because it's like she's the one that's like, you got to communicate. We have to communicate. And like, do you think she communicated at all any given moment that she was like feeling resentful or something? No. That's why I thought everything was fine. And so it kind of reminds me of that. We're here and we're going into the season and we think everything is fine. We don't think there's a problem. We thought like, hey, we're gonna come back in it. We're gonna come back strong, and we started the season out pretty decent. That's the only reason why we're still in it with the number 10 spot. Fucking, and we could lose every fucking game in the rest of the season and still make it. Because at the beginning of the season, we that's why we won the majority of our games. But then he started crapping the bed, and I'm not happy. I want more money. Well, whatever, man. I hope you're happy now, because now you got, the West Coast and, the Red Lights and Steph Curry. Oh, you got the one that you wanted. I hope he makes you happy while he's on the bench. I don't know, man. All that matters is that we focus on us. That's really what has got to happen now. Same thing I did with the woman was, just, fuck that, whatever. Let me focus on me. Let me focus on the things that I like to do, the things that make me happy. Focus on my cats, focus on my work, focus on my art, focus on music. Don't let her be another, wall that you put up in the middle of, everything that you can't get past because it's like, oh my God, I gotta spend time worrying about this shit. No, just whatever. It sucked. But you know what? At least you got to experience it. And it was our second time around. So it was like, I didn't think I'd ever see her again. And I got to see her again. We had to have our time, and we gave it a try. And it didn't work out because she didn't want it. And that's it. I'm not going to take responsibility like, oh, I was horrible or anything. No, what do you mean? There was nothing to be horrible about. We literally just hung out. What was horrible is that she didn't want me to tell my family that we were seeing each other. That she didn't really, want to do any of the things that I wanted to do. We watched, she didn't want to watch all the shows that I wanted. She just wanted to do everything for her. She wanted to control everything. And then claim, oh, we have to communicate more. And then she never wanted to talk. This is weird, what's going on here? So, and you get to a point after you've been with so many people and dealt with so many relationships that you're like, you know what? I just have my own mode and my own way, and I know when shit clicks, if it clicks good, it's gonna go one way, and then when it derails, and that's it. And it just derailed. So, what are you gonna do? Just move on. Which is what this team, I feel, has finally done. It's finally rediscovered itself. It's finally rediscovered that, hey, you know what? I can talk to other women. I can hook up with other women. I can do this. That's what this team has done. This team just gotta focus on the thing they love and move forward. With your head down, and then the next thing you know, when you fucking lift your head up, how we said before in previous episodes, you're gonna find yourself in the playoffs. And then at that point, it goes back to being about a 7-game series. It has nothing to do with winning this game and winning all these games. No, it's just a matter of a 7-game series, first to 4 wins. However way you can. Doesn't matter if you go down 3-0. Doesn't matter. Still got a shot. And we've seen this team pull shit out of their ass. Hero and Bam have been here since the bubble. Bam, since before the bubble. It's a long time. These guys are not rookies. These guys are not sophomores. These guys are not juniors. These guys are not seniors. These guys are vets. It was a big year for Hero, man. It's a big year for Bam coming off of the Olympics. You saw people started to notice Bam. After that game, people noticed Bam. After that, a lot of people tuned in to that Golden State game, and a lot of people noticed Bam. They're going to notice him again. They're going to notice him again. Okay? So, prepare yourselves. Just hunker down. This last stretch is going to be interesting to see. I don't know if I'm gonna have more shows. It all depends on how I feel after the show, because I'd really rather devote a lot of my time to the animation right now. And honestly, please support via the PayPal or the Cash App if you can, like anything, $1, $2, whatever you can. Like seriously support, because that allows me to buy time to make the animation, and then also hire and pay my friend so that she could help us out with like the backgrounds and stuff like that. Like she helped me out with one background, and I'm like, I got to pay her something, and I'm broke right now, so I have to wait. But yeah, so like seriously, anything you guys can provide. If not, buy my books, buy my comics, buy my music, and that money comes around, and you know when it comes around, and that's also very helpful too. Um, I don't have any last thoughts. I guess I wanted to try and talk a little bit about Daredevil, and I would have loved to talk about the Avengers stuff, but no, no, no. Stick to Cultura. If anything, I'll do an Avengers assemble, a Marvelites assemble. So maybe I'll do that in the weekend if I get like, oh, I feel like doing it now. So just keep an eye out for that. But this team, man, it's a love and hate relationship. But this is a great group of guys that has been together for a really long time, man. And even though Spo pisses me off so much, man, he drives me fucking crazy, man. Absolutely up a wall. He still comes out and he comes around. But you know what? These guys gotta prove himself at the end of this season. We need 2 big wins to really feel good about this team. Like we can get these 2 fucking wins and lose every other game, and they'll be like, we're good. Because we have to know right now. It's not even about finding the switch. And I think about it because it was just that. It was about finding the switch. What we did is we found the switch. Now we gotta have to relearn how to turn it on all the time. We got it. That's what we're trying to relearn is how do we keep that switch on? How do we turn it on, and how do we keep it on all the time? And it's only been these last 2 games that you really have seen and felt that this team punches back. Because you saw how even in Atlanta, this game, Atlanta was, they were coming back. They were coming back strong. And all we did was at some point we punched back, and we just put a stop to it. Got close, but we put a stop to it. So yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I feel good this Saturday, and if the game goes really good and we get a good win, I'll be here. Regardless, I'll be here. You know how it is. Okay, so don't freak out. Just freak out.